Let's talk about what happens when you try to collaborate using traditional qualitative analysis software. First, the versioning nightmare. Your team member is on version 12, but you upgraded to version 14. The files are incompatible. You literally cannot open their work without having IT install multiple versions on your machine, if that's even possible. But then it turns out you're on a Mac and they're on a PC, so some features aren't available on your computer. Then there's the file management chaos. You email your project file to 3 team members. Sarah codes her portion and emails it back, but Marcus already started coding on the version you sent yesterday. Now, someone has to manually merge these projects, a process that often loses codes, breaks links, and can even corrupt data. Now, some traditional CAQDAS tools offer cloud solutions or cloud syncing, but those are add-ons that cost you hundreds of dollars more per year on top of your software license, which you already bought. Or they require your IT department to set up and maintain a server infrastructure that rarely works smoothly and still doesn't prevent version conflicts. The results? You spend hours managing files, merging projects, and troubleshooting compatibility. You're spending more time managing the tool than actually analyzing the data. But with the qualitative analysis tool Delve, you can skip all this frustration because we do collaboration fundamentally differently. In this video, we'll walk you through step-by-step on how to instantly share your project with team members without sending files back and forth. How real-time updates keep everyone in sync automatically, how to divide work efficiently with split coding, how to ensure alignment with consensus coding and intercoder reliability, and how all of this happens without version conflicts, manual merging, or expensive IT infrastructure. Let's dive in. This is the Delve interface. Notice we're in a web browser, not installed software. Because Delve is cloud-based, you're always using the most up-to-date version of the software automatically. There's no versioning to worry about. To begin sharing, click the Share button in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. I can now type in my collaborator's email address. And now I select their permission level. There are 2 permission levels. You can do can edit, and this is for team members who need to code and analyze, or can view, and that's perfect for advisors, stakeholders, or committee members who need to review but not change anything. And crucially, viewers access for free. They do not need a Delve license. I'm going to select can edit and send this invitation. Now, from my collaborator's perspective, they receive an email invitation. If they have used Delve before, this invite will take them straight to the project. If it's their first time using Delve, they can just click Accept Invite. They will be taken to an account setup page where they can choose a password. Now they have access to the research project, not a copy of the project, to the project, the same one I'm looking at. Everything in Delve updates live. When my collaborator creates a new code, it will immediately appear in my codebook on the right. If they code the transcript, it will immediately underline. No lag and no sync conflicts. When I open the code details page, I can see who created each code. Same with coding. When I hover over code that has been applied, I can see who applied it and when. This transparency is powerful. You can see patterns in how different team members interpret the data. If I disagree with the coding choice or have a question, I can leave a memo directly on the snippet. All memos are associated with users, so you can know who said what. My collaborator and I can have a full discussion right here in the context of our coding. These conversations are important to keep track of. Not buried in email, but permanently attached to the actual data. 6 months from now, we'll know exactly why we made specific coding decisions. This is collaborative thinking made visible. There are 2 main approaches to collaborative coding, and Delve supports both. Split coding is about efficiency. Everyone codes a different group of transcripts. The challenge is staying aligned while working independently. Delve solves this with the shared live codebook we just saw. Consensus coding is where multiple researchers code the same transcripts to ensure you're aligned on how to apply codes. Often, teams start with consensus coding when developing their codebook and then move to split coding once they're aligned. The challenge with consensus coding is that you don't want to influence each other. If I see that you've already coded something, I might just agree without thinking critically. That is where Delve's Coded by Me feature becomes essential. Right now, I can see how everyone coded, but I can hide everyone's work by going to this dropdown and selecting Coded by Me. Now I have an uncoded transcript, and I can add codes while my collaborator is coding the exact same transcript. We're truly independent while working on the same data. Once we've both coded independently, we can compare using the coding comparison feature. This shows both of our coding decisions side by side. Let's talk about inner coder reliability. Major disclaimer, inner coder reliability isn't for every research project. In fact, let me read from one of my favorite qualitative textbooks, Thematic Analysis, A Practical Guide by Brown and Clark. And in here, they say, it is problematic to assume coding reliability quality measures are relevant for all types of thematic analysis. They are not. And from our perspective, coding reliability procedures often result in themes that are relatively superficial and underdeveloped. So yeah, requiring perfect agreement can actually flatten the rich subjectivity that makes qualitative research valuable. And each coder brings their own perspective, their own theoretical lens, and their own lived experience. And that diversity of interpretation is a strength, not a weakness. That being said, some journals and some research designs do require demonstrating inner coder reliability. So when you need it, Delve can calculate it automatically. And let's walk through how you do that. If you go to the coding comparison page, you can click on this inner coder reliability button. And this gives you Krippendorff's alpha, which is a robust measure that accounts for a chance agreement and works with any number of coders. So when two coders agree, this number will go up, and if they disagree, it will go down. The number will be between -1 and 1, and oftentimes, though this is a generalization, 0.8 is considered a good alignment. But again, you do not need to use this if your research does not call for it. I don't often tell people don't use this feature, but in this case, don't necessarily use this feature. Let's recap what we've talked about. Traditional qualitative coding software treats collaboration as an expensive afterthought. Extra licenses, add-on features, complex IT requirements. You fight with versions, merge files manually, and lose insights in email threads. Delve was built from collaboration from the ground up. One project shared across all users. No files to manage, no versions to reconcile, every insight captured, every decision documented, and every perspective visible. This isn't just better file management, it's a fundamental shift in how teams can work together to uncover insights. You're not managing software anymore, you're doing research.